Afternoon, guys. Same process as usual. There are mics on either side. You can please remember to introduce yourself by name and organisation, and we'll set an embargo towards the end for Saturday at 10:30.
Good afternoon, Pep. James from Sky. Just a quick one on injuries. Zinchenko and Bernardo Silva, are they likely to be in your plans for the weekend?
They are better. We'll see today and tomorrow. They are feeling better, but I don't know if they are fit for Sunday.
Pep, Simon Stone, BBC. A lot was made, obviously, about the fact that you decided not to start with Kevin De Bruyne on Tuesday. Have you had a chance to think about that, and do you still think that was the right decision? And is he as important a player for you as he was last season, for instance?
It is. Now it's no count. His decision is good or not. After the game, nothing changed. We have made sometimes decisions difficult to understand, but like we won, we are everybody genius. And when it doesn't work, we had a plan. The players knows the reason why we took that decisions. We spoke with everybody and the way we want to play this first leg, and we did it quite well.
In terms of your season, everybody's kind of focused on the two Tottenham games and the league game against Tottenham as well. But this is a very dangerous game, it seems, for Manchester City.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. We knew it from weeks ago, how it be between these important games and Tottenham and Champions League. Have Selhurst Park is always difficult. I have been, not just for the stadium itself, for the quality of the players they have. And all departments, they are really, really well organized, and up front they have quality players to do actions 1 against 1, 1 against 2, 1 against 3. So, but 6 games left to finish the Premier League. We know we are what's playing for, and we're going to prepare well.
Can you select a side without thinking what comes in the days and the week after? Can you ignore all that, or do you have to think about which players you're going to use in which games?
No, in few positions, departments, we have enough players, and other ones we are only with problems. No, because we are not in the process to think about it in next game in terms of Tottenham Champions League, Premier League. So it's at the end of the season. Every game is a final, and we're going to play with the team we believe is the best to face them. For the physical condition, for the personality of our players, for the opponents, we're going to see, like always we do.
Pep, Mandy from Premier League TV. I've been speaking to Vincent Kompany, and he's been talking about how he wouldn't be human if he didn't feel the pressure of a title race. How impressed are you with the way that your players deal with times like this at this stage of the season?
We have been 20 months incredible. So we lost, I think, 2 games in the last 23. So, and the way we lost. So I know how difficult is the Champions League and away and against Tottenham there, and we make a good performance. Yesterday I reviewed the game, and I had sometimes when you review the games, I had the feeling that I was wrong when I was watching the game in the right moment, the right tempo, and I have the quite similar feeling I had when it happened. So we tried to do what we spoke, and we did it quite well.
Palace are obviously hoping to do the double over year. What are your memories of the game at the Etihad, and how impressed have you been with what Roy Hodgson's done this season?
Well, they have done so well. I think they are 11 points out from the relegation zone. So away they had incredible results. I think it's a team with a lot of quality players, and the teams we are in the position, middle position, low position, is one of the teams with the better quality. They have Roy Hodgson is an experienced manager with a lot of quality, have lived different experiences in different countries, and he knows how to handle that situations. We cannot forget, especially last season when we took over as a manager in a position nobody trusts. He could, stay in the Premier League, and he did it. And this season make continuity what he has done last season.
Hello, Pep. Here, on your left.
Hi.
This question doesn't have anything to do with any match. It's just a tactical thing. When you play 4-3-3 with one holding midfielder, everybody knows how it works. But how do you manage to be brave and to develop your game and the fluidity of the ball when you play with two holding midfielders in the build-up of the game? How do you to manage to still keep the same philosophy with this build-up?
Yeah, nothing changed. The philosophy about the setup, the system you use. Football is question of spaces, so, and especially the intention you want to play. And with two, you want to help. Sometimes you're holding midfielder to have must be helped to make a build up, and after you have one less player in front, but you have more control in the positions you need it for any circumstances. Especially the last game, for the problems we had with a lot of players come back for the injuries, and especially in the left back, when didn't have too many options in that moment for that specific game to control the quality for Tottenham game. And sometimes we decide to Gundo to help in the build up to Dino and for the other ones. But it's question of spaces. So if the players read exactly where are the spaces to make a build up on the final third, that is not a problem. So you can attack and defense perfectly with 5 in the back or 3 in the back. You can make a perfect build up with 3, with 2. Nothing changed too much, because, for example, sometimes you play 4-3-3 in the setup, but when attacking midfielder come to receive the ball, we are making the build-up with 2 holding midfielders, not just with 1. So it's not a big issue about, but it's not all the players are in the same position. Question the spaces, and it depends the movements of the opponents, how they jump, how they defend. After that, you create the spaces. Read that is important in football. Read the moment you create the spaces. And for the specific attempt, we decide to do that for different reasons that our players know it.
Hi Pep, Andy Hampson from the Press Association. Ilkay Gundogan was quite strong in his comments after the game on Tuesday, suggesting that the team didn't respond well to the penalty setback, and they do seem too nervous in Champions League games. Do you think he had a point at all?
Well, I think I'm not agree with him. Absolutely not. So there are games when we concede a goal, we were a little bit there, but I think when we concede a goal, nothing happened. And especially in the second half, when it was under control, except the first 5 minutes, the second half, we didn't concede one shot on target, and we are there many times. We didn't create too much, but we are there. After when we conceded a goal, nothing didn't happen. So in other games, yes, that's true. So it was completely different. For example, against Schalke, when we won 0-1, and in 5 minutes we conceded 2. So when the game was not, our game in Hotspur was much better than in Schalke. The difference is Leroy put the ball in 50 yards in the corner, and in that game we missed the penalty. So that it was a little bit quite different in that situation, because we were more in dangerous position, 10 against 11, 1 against 2 against Schalke, than the game against Tottenham, by far. But we react quite well in both situations. When we missed the penalty in the beginning, especially Sergio reacted incredibly well, and he was mentally strong, and the team was stable. Except one action when we won one duel from Nico with, I don't remember which player, in the corner, and after Harry Kane we defend really well, and Harry Kane shoot on target. We defend the set pieces when they are incredibly strong, well in the set pieces. And after, when we concede a goal, it was a dangerous situation. 10 minutes left. It didn't happen, nothing happened. We were there and we control it. So in that situation, the fact that we feel the pressure, want to do it well, yeah, of course we want to do it well in all competition, especially in the Champions League. But the opponents play too, and they are good too. But in that case, I'm not completely agree with you. That's it. Regarding indeed a specific game,
Hi, how are you? Francisco from TVI in Portugal. Before the press conference, we had a quick interview with Bernardo Silva. You praised him a number of times this season. I would like to ask you, which aspects do you think he improved the most since he arrived here in Manchester? And also in the national team, for example, in the last few seasons, sometimes he used to play more on the right wing and less in the middle. What do you think he can give? What is he giving to the team playing more in the middle? Which characteristics do you think will make him even more important in the future?
Well, it's quite similar. I think he came as an incredible player, and he showed how incredible player he is. So he has to answer exactly what he changed his game since since he's here. So I don't know. And playing in a wide or playing more in the middle is quite similar because he's a fighter. He's a guy who runs a lot and helps us in defense. So smart, intelligent in the defensive movement. So intelligent, so clever, incredible clever. Know exactly when you come back inside, outside, and there. And with the ball is, you don't have to tell anything. So he reads exactly what he has to do in the decision maker. And he's top. In that he's top. When he's in the middle, he sees the spaces. When we're outside with aggressivity 1-against-1, when he with his movement attract 2 or 3 players, how is his man free? He decides always well. So he's an excellent player.
Pep, David McDonald from the Daily Mirror. In the game against Tottenham, you'll be aware that Fernandinho hit Harry Kane with his elbow when they both came down from a challenge in what looked to be a deliberate act on the back of Kane's head. It wasn't picked up by VAR or the referee, but how important is it that your players don't get involved in those kind of situations? Because it could easily have been a red card then, and you can ill afford to lose players, particularly of Fernandinho's importance at this stage of the season. So do you have to remind your players not to get involved in those kind of situations?
First, I didn't see the situation, the action. Second one, yeah, they know it. You have to control themselves for that situation. Yeah.
So you're not aware of that at all? That
I didn't see the image.
Right.
Hi Pep, James from The Standard. I think you've spoken before about how much you admire Wilfried Zaha of Crystal Palace. Is he someone who Leroy Sané could look to in terms of his levels of consistency for City? Is that the sort of thing you'd want from him?
No, I think completely different type of players. Zaha is good receiving the ball here, and then Leroy runs in behind is incredible. The best, maybe one of the best wingers in the world, making the movement, runs in behind. Both play in the quite similar position, but the skills are different.
Hi Pat. Just going back to the stuff you were saying about Gundogan's comments after the match on Tuesday. I know you don't agree with what he was saying, but is it a worry from your point of view that your players are actually thinking that they're not responding to setbacks in a match, or they are nervous?
20 months winning every 3 days, an incredible amount of games. So 20 months. So we made 180 points, 6 games to 11 in 2 seasons. 180 points. So just I'm not agree with Ilka says. So we can say whatever he wants and every do. I like when they express what they believe, but in a specific day when they lost a little bit the control, when we concede something or nothing's going well. Many times in my career it's happened. There was a 71 minutes in Camp Nou 0-0 semi-final. In 3 minutes we lost the competition. We lost the semi-finals 3-0 in 10-11 minutes, and we lost. Regarding this specific game, it didn't happen. So we react well after the first action when we could be 0-1, it didn't happen, and after the last minute when we conceded a goal, what happened after that, we were stable. So that's why. So of course, sometimes it doesn't work like well because the competition is tough and the opponents are good. Look the results, what happened in the, how many chances the teams created in that competition. In this competition, it's different. The teams are really good and they can do it. But I saw Tottenham playing against United, for example, in the Premier League. How incredible chances they create. They won United, but how many chances they had was incredible. So Tottenham is a team like nothing they create with Eriksen, with Harry Kane, with Dele Alli, with Lucas Moura, with Song, with everybody. It's a team who fast a lot, that runs in behind a lot. And we control it quite well in the first leg in the game. We thought to have a more low game, a tempo, more passes, more controls in the right moment, attacked in the right moment. We have the 2 games, not just one. We didn't want to make an extra, consider counter-attack when they are stronger than us. We had 2 days rest, they have 6. Their qualities are there and they can punish us, and we want to control in some aspects, and that's why we decide to play in a different type of game. But in general, the game was really, really good in the way we want to play. Unfortunately, we could not score a goal. But we have a second leg with our fans at home, and we've been semi-finals.
Set the embargo, please, guys. 10:30 on Saturday.